Time to unite and do what is right. Demand better oil deal. This is
Newscast on Kaieteur Radio. In our headlines, as the effects of climate change intensify, Guyana and Suriname discuss possibility of gas strategy. Jagdeo-led oil team ditches petroleum talks with Surinamese president and opts to attend ExxonMobil-funded conference in Texas instead. Dr. Balwant Singh's hospital completes 6 successful heart surgeries in 4 days. CIOG saves struggling mother from second time in jail and pays off child support debt. Pensioner crashes car while heading to hospital for medical checkup. Government admits Guyana's biggest threat is climate change, but condemns global call to end fossil fuel projects. And Exxon's contract will not change, as Jagdeo repeats any new terms conditions only for other oil blocks. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Summer rush. Nobody's doing it big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Drive in style for the summer. Hey, Digicel Summer Rush.
Start topping up now.
With your Thursday, August 19th main newscast, my name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Thank you for joining us. On Tuesday last, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, while addressing attendees at the Offshore Technology Conference organized by the Baker Institute in Houston, Texas, had admitted that one of, if not the biggest threat that Guyana faces is climate change. Despite Guyana's glaring vulnerability in the face of the impending and inevitable climate change driven by the activity, the recently elected government has rejected the calls for the seizure of new fossil fuel projects. The International Energy Agency, a group of oil-consuming nations, this spring said if governments want to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050, there would be no need for new fossil fuels development. A recent report by the world's foremost authority on climate change. The International Panel on Climate Change, which combines the works of over 230 scientists from 66 countries and referenced over 14,000 scientific papers, has revealed that climate change situation is much worse than previously thought, and state that immediate action is needed to prevent consequences. Meanwhile, consecutive administrations since the release of the now heavily criticized production sharing agreement inked with ExxonMobil and other operators in Guyana have been publicly committed to have the document's template revised in order to secure better deals for the country in the future. To this end, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo has now committed to having the revised PSA template be made available in as little as 6 months. On that will be tougher than the one negotiated with Exxon Consortium. According to VP, Guyana's aim is to increase its oil royalties and revamp other contract terms as part of the PSA regime for future crude and gas projects now in the draft stage. The Vice President, during a special presentation on Tuesday last, has said all the deficiencies of this contract will be addressed. Suriname's President, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, is currently in Guyana for a 4-day state visit, leading a high-level delegation which has high on the agenda, lending support to the development of this nation's oil industry. Their Guyanese counterparts, however, are not in Guyana, but are in Texas, USA, attending an offshore technology conference. That conference is sponsored in part by ExxonMobil, which is headquartered in Texas, USA. Accompanying the Suriname's president is that country's Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business and International Cooperation, Ambassador Albert Ramdin. For Guyana's part, its Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Hugh Todd, is in Texas. President Santoki has worked with his Minister of Natural Resources, David Ambifio, for the high-level talks in Guyana, but the Guyanese counterpart, Minister Vikram Barrett, is also in Texas, USA. Minister of Public Works Rihad Nur Mohammed is also in Guyana, while one of his counterparts remains in Texas, a situation that has since attract the attention of onlookers both in Guyana and Suriname. And sticking with neighboring Suriname, even though the International Energy Agency and the United Nations have urged world leaders to hasten steps towards renewable energy given the intensifying effects of climate change, two CARICOM countries are discussing the possibility of a gas strategy. Yesterday, President Ali and Suriname's head of state Santoki continued bilateral discussions at the Arthur Chung Conference Center with a high-level delegation from both nations present for the session. Prior to that engagement, the two presidents met with their respective ministers of foreign affairs to advance discussion in several areas encompassing a number of sectors. It was during that discussion that talks of new areas of collaboration were discussed, including the environment, the oil and gas sector, and the likelihood of establishing a common gas strategy for Guyana and Suriname. You're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. More news after the break. Stay with us.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. The head of the Guyana Police Force Office of Professional Responsibility, Assistant Superintendent Elson Baird, on Tuesday night urged citizens to report corrupt members of the Guyana Police Force. Baird encouraged citizens to report such ranks in order for a sting operation to be conducted so that the ranks can be caught red-handed. He also noted that in any instant where a police officer is making a demand from any citizen, that citizen can visit the OPR's head office or go to the divisional commander and make a report. Just last week, Corporal Omar Damon was remanded to prison when he appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan. Proof of vaccination and identification card are required from all guests, including pregnant women and children under the age of 18. Caribbean Cinema at Giftland Mall reopens today. Having fully complied with the guidelines and recommendation mandated by the government, Caribbean Cinemas at Giftland Mall is set to reopen its doors today. According to a Caribbean Cinema release, cinemas will operate with a 40% capacity to create social distancing by leaving seats in empty rows between parties. And also it noted, proof of vaccination and identification card are required from all guests, excluding pregnant women and children under the age of 18. Cinemas in Guyana were asked to maintain the restriction of selling food, but the company is hopeful that patrons could soon enjoy once again their favorite movie snacks that complete the experience. And the Dr. Balwant Singh Hospital heart surgery period of 4 days upon 6 major procedures patient with the operation was performed with Indian-based team. For patients were successfully performed with zero complications. The of Guy a struggling mother takes a second time for the woman failed to accumulate debt of $560,000 29th of July 2021. Favor being sent back moved to plead Human Services, Dr. Vidya Prasad, and the fined in one. Learning of reply through Kaieteur News article, CIOG's General Shamiz Hanif related decided to pay off his debt court on Wednesday. A 61 killed after the car driving was involved in an accident in Marara. And Soba, resident of Bell Housing Scheme, West Bank. Another police revealed that vehicle at the side of the road that was being driven by 40 the pensioner lost control of the vehicle, and as a result it collided right front side of the traveling. It's right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and the 99.5 page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated of being blunt. The Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, says the evidence is present of the link between human activity and severe climate disruptions and changes. Lawyers are armed with better scientific information to challenge oil companies with lawsuits. Where are our lawyers on filing and fighting for Guyanese? Where are our lawyers other than hoping for a sweet contractual relationships with Exxon or one of its relationships? Where are the Guyanese legal eagles and legal scholars who can quibble over constitution and crime when the biggest nation crime is in its work, compliments of a savage government and a predatory oil company? It is now time for your COVID-19 updates, compliments of Kaieteur Radio. The Ministry of Health reported yesterday that 5 more persons who contracted COVID-19 disease have died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll moved to 587. According to the ministry, deaths are down 63-year-old in Region 4, a 87-year-old and an 84-year-old, a 70-year-old rather, and a 17-year-old, all from Region 4. Further, in its daily COVID-19 update, the ministry within a 24 hours period recorded 120 new infectious, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 23,795. Presently, there are 15 patients admitted into the COVID-19 intensive care unit, 88 persons in institutional isolation, 980 in home isolation, and 5 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 22,125 persons have recovered from the virus. With that, we've come to the end of your main newscast. I am Joshua Van Sleckman. Thank you for joining us. Encourage you that you can pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. It is 12 hours 47. Coming up after this is a short presentation on the oil and gas sector by publisher of the Kaieteur News, Dr. Glenn Lau. And of course, we invite you to join him on the Glenn Lau Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 19 hours 20. Immediately after Mr. Lau's presentation, it's going to be time for the Thursday edition of the National Outlook with our very own G.H. Gilal. Have a great remainder of your Thursday afternoon.